All right, so here we are with another episode, and in case you missed the last one, I am currently running for my life as zombie piglins are trying to take me out after I accidentally hit one when I was going for a wither skeleton skull. Big mistake. I wanted that extra beacon, and I wish I hadn't because this great delays are about to happen. Anyways, so I made it home and I decided that I was going to make the name tag that I needed for one of the toads that are in, or frogs, I guess, that are in my Froglight farm. And so I decided I was gonna go back and finish that up after I had safely made it home. Unfortunately, I did not realize that the zombie piglins would still be mad at me. And so I kind of popped back in and then out when I realized my mistake, and then they were still after me because some of them went through the portal. And so I kind of quickly ran to where I knew this one iron golem was that got trapped in the water, and I was like, okay, we're just gonna chill out with this guy and he's gonna protect me from the monster. And then I realized that I was probably going to end up drowning, but they thankfully targeted the iron golem and he was able to save me from assured destruction. But unfortunately, some more of these friends kind of showed up. I didn't realize how much of a headache making one of these zombie piglins mad, but it was quite an ordeal. But thankfully these guys, after a while, kind of became docile again and they were just chilling out in the village, and I was like, great, we're good to go. We can head back on our adventure. And so I headed out here and I accidentally realized that they were after me again. And so I kind of decided I was going to originally run away because I was like, well, maybe I'll wait for them to time out. And then I saw the sheer number of them that were after me, and I quickly decided, no, this is not a good idea. We're going to go back to the village and hide in there while we can. Well, unfortunately, all of them are going through the portal and waiting for me to pop out, and I nearly died because of this. I wish I had rockets at the time because I do have my elytra with me. I don't have it on, thankfully, because I'd be gone. And yeah, you can see the absolute posse. And then eventually I kind of hid up here for a while, and as you can see, they're all happy again, and I was like, okay, this is it. We're going to finally go and deliver this name tag so we can finish this Froglight farm or whatever that we have been trying to make, and then I will finally get the Froglights. So I popped out here and very quickly realized once again that they are still mad at me. So I kind of had to pop my way around, and then they kept knocking me out, which was kind of annoying because I just wanted to go home. I didn't want to deal with this anymore. And then because these guys were mad, it made all of the other guys that had been happy at my village mad at me again, which was terrible. And so I quickly ran to my closest house that I could find. At points I'm like, maybe the castle, but I don't have any windows in the castle, so they would still be kind of bad. There is an iron golem in there. He spawns in there every single time. I don't know what to do with it. Anyways, and so they just kind of pile up at this corner trying to hit me, and it's just crazy how many actually are on this side. They just keep appearing, and it's so many. At one point a zombie joined them for a while, and I didn't quite know what to do because there were just so many of them, and I was like, if I go down there, this is just gonna be bad, and I don't have my bow and arrow with me or anything, so there was no way that I could shoot my way to protection, and I didn't have any iron, so I couldn't do it. But then eventually I realized that if I stand on the very edge, and they'll just kind of pop up there on that little path and I can hit them, which was really good because I didn't know what I was going to do. And so I just kind of took them all out with some major effort, and then I realized that he was too far down there, and so I decided that I was just going to have to brave it, and because there was no way that he was going to be happy with me after I just took out his whole fleet. So cutting my losses, I eventually accepted that I was going to have to face the villain head on, and no longer hide. And so I quickly came up here and I got the higher ground because we all know that it is best to get the higher ground in these situations. And then I stepped off, obviously. So I went back out there and I realized this time that these guys are going to constantly be getting mad at me if I just continue to duck in and out. So I decided instead to just pillar my way up and wait up there until they were no longer mad at me. I did put myself in a bit of a box because I was afraid that a gas was going to get me, and then this guy showed up, but he doesn't realize what we've been through, and so after a little bit more effort than I like to admit, we finally took him out and we were able to finally deliver the name tag of Toad. Now, this is only one frog, and I needed at least 3, but I decided that I wanted to do 2 of these guys, and he nearly fell off of this cliff because I kind of made this wall so he wouldn't go through, and then he proceeded to jump over it and land on that ledge, but I was thankfully able to get him back. This was kind of like the tiny little portal that I made, and then I decided to do this guy, but unfortunately the journey back is a little bit longer, and so I was kind of nervous that I was going to lose this guy on my way out, but I thankfully obviously have learned that it is best to put a lead on a toad as opposed to slowly guide them forward with a slime, because that just takes forever. So then I made the name tags for the final 2 toads. We went with the ever original Jean Bob. Comment down below if you get the reference. Points to you. Yeah, so I did that, and then I think I did Toad for the other one, and I delivered them. Oh no, I did Toad for the first one. This is Frog, and then this is Jean Bob. So I was quite pleased with that. And then I kind of cleared the area a little bit more around here because I wanted to make it as flat as possible and kind of make it as spawnable as possible. I might go in eventually and maybe put buttons down. I'm in the process of trying to put a bunch of buttons down for the fortress because I kind of want to try and limit where things can spawn so I could maybe get more withers, because I eventually want to do like a wither farm, but I've never done something like that before, and so I figure we're just gonna go with this simple way of doing things instead of the most efficient. We don't need to be efficient. It doesn't need to be pretty. We just want results. Not the best results, but some results is what we're looking for. So I just kind of flattened that area out, and then I pillared up with some scaffolding so that I could go to this little kind of hideout. I eventually add in like a lookout so I can actually watch what's happening below, but this was the initial go, just kind of like a general test, kind of hanging out here for 5 or 10 minutes just to kind of see how it goes and figure out like whether I've generally structured it enough. I'm not sure if I'm even high enough up. That's just where the ceiling was, but I was able to get all of the frog lights that I needed. Not all of the ones that I needed, but I was able to confirm that it worked. And so we went back up there because I'm going to use the frog lights to kind of make the area around the castle a little bit prettier, and I'm going to add it in eventually to kind of the opening area. And with that, I think we're going to leave it there. Be sure to leave a comment and subscribe. And thanks for watching. Bye.